Chapter 4. An Unexpected Visit. "Maxine!" called Shirley. "Aaron wants you to come to the pathology lab. Fast!" Maxine ran down the stairs to Mercy Hospital Pathology Lab. It had been only 4 days since Aaron had sent the blood from Nanette's autopsy to Texas. Did he have an answer already? When Maxine pushed open the swinging doors, Aaron was sitting at his desk. Across from him was a man with his back to the door. Aaron's face looked pale. "Someone called the police," he announced. The man turned and looked surprised to see her. Maxine smiled. "Detective Grabowski." Maxine was pleased to see Grabowski. She had met him a couple of months ago when he had come to the ER injured. He had asked her out for coffee afterward, and they had gotten along well, but she hadn't seen him since then. He worked long hours, and he didn't seem to have time for a social life. She was glad to see him again now. He was handsome, with dark hair, an untidy mustache, and muscles that showed through his shirt. "What's the problem?" Maxine pulled up a chair and sat down. Aaron answered. "The lab in Texas sent Nanette's report to the police." Grabowski interrupted. "Somebody at the lab decided that the Milwaukee police should know that a poison called tetrodotoxin was in a blood test sent from Mercy Hospital." "What?" Maxine gasped. "Tetrodotoxin?" "Your idea about a nerve poison was right, Maxine," Aaron said. "There was enough poison in that blood to kill 6 people. But it's amazing that it was tetrodotoxin." "Tetrodotoxin," Maxine repeated. Her voice shook. Grabowski frowned. "This was your idea, to do the test for nerve poison? Why is it so amazing that it was tetrodotoxin? I've never heard of it." Maxine nodded. "Neither have most people. I know about it because I used it in my research at Marquette University only 6 months ago." Grabowski frowned. "Let's start again. How long did you use the poison in your research?" "I started my research 3 years ago, and finished 6 months ago." "Did anyone else use this poison?" Grabowski asked. "I prefer to think of it as a research drug, if that's all right," said Maxine. "Okay, just tell me who else used it." "My research assistant, Charlie. He used it when he was helping me with my research. Do you want to know about my research?" Grabowski held up a hand. "Not yet." "How did you and the other researchers get the drug?" "I got mine from a chemical company in Chicago. They sell research drugs to laboratories. But the chemical comes from a fish called the pufferfish, which are used in medical research a lot. They're also rare and beautiful fish, and some people buy them for their fish tanks at home." Grabowski was writing in his notebook. "Who knew you had this poison?" "My research wasn't secret," Maxine said. "Lots of my students came to my lab to watch my experiments. Also, I wrote reports on my research that the university keeps. The drug company may keep my report secret, but Marquette University puts that information in a file. I suppose anyone could get hold of those reports. I gave talks about my research, too." Maxine's pager beeped. "I'm needed in the ER," she said, and hurried out the door. On her way to the ER, Maxine thought over the situation. Nanette had been poisoned by tetrodotoxin. Could it have been an accident? Had the poison come from Maxine's laboratory? But how? When she got to the ER, Maxine phoned Charlie. Charlie was a PhD student who worked as a research assistant as well as studying. He worked day and night and often slept in the lab. Maxine let the phone ring 10 times. Finally, someone picked it up. "Charlie?" Maxine said. "Is that you?" Charlie, this is Maxine. I have to see you." Can I come to your lab tonight when I get off work? After midnight? Sure. I'll still be here. He hung up. Shirley was listening. Is this call connected with Nanette's murder? Who says it's murder? Maxine demanded. Got to be murder when that good-looking Detective Grabowski gets involved. You're friendly with Hank, aren't you? Did that make the detective suspicious about you? Certainly not, said Maxine. I know Hank because we're both doctors. Hank is on the research review committee at Marquette, and he does surgery here. I've worked with him in both places. And you go to parties at his house, said Shirley. So do a lot of people. Not me, said Shirley.